like that, it might actually just make for some kind of reddish sunrises, sunsets as we get toward the weekend of next week.
And it's actually a good thing, right? With hurricanes.
No, actually it's a very good thing. We want that Saharan dust over the tropical basin. We like to see more of these later in the season, but bringing them on now, we'll take it.
Yeah.
But that is a good thing. And there is nothing going on in the tropics. We'll touch on that coming up in just a moment. We have been very hot today. Not record territory, but getting way too close in the low 90s. Temperature right now still 80 degrees. It's still pretty warm outside with a dew point of 74. Feels like 85, so there is still a heat index. And winds southwest very light at around 9 miles an hour. Upper 70s, low 80s across the area. Only dropping into the 70s through the overnight period to start the day tomorrow. And winds at times a little bit of a breeze, but relatively light as we continue through the night tonight. Now, the next several days, at least, we had a couple of isolated showers. Rain coverage today was less than 10%, so most of us did not see any rainfall. Tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, not really any rain. So Raceland, 92 degrees and hot without any relief in sight, but that is going to change. We will stay hot and dry through Friday. Then the weekend, we're looking at an increase in rain chances and maybe quite a bit of rainfall. We do need it. We are still very much in a drought, plus it does help to break the heat. Unfortunately, it's going to be mainly during the weekend. And good news, we are quiet out in the tropics. So let's take a look at what's going on out there. Nothing. And we are not expecting any development over the next 5 days. So that is putting us toward the weekend. Now, after the weekend and into early next week, the models have been starting to hint at something. What that something is still very much an unknown. Early in the season, it is not atypical to see some kind of development in the Central America region, either in the Eastern Pacific or in the Caribbean. This is what we call the Central American gyre, basically a big overall broad swirling of storms. Heavy rainmakers usually across the countries here, but at times some of those little swirls can kind of break off and become a tropical system, maybe in the Atlantic Basin, the Caribbean, or in the Eastern Pacific. And the question is, if anything were to form, where would it go? And then the model that you've been seeing a whole lot of, because it's the scariest, is the GFS. Well, the GFS has started to change its tune. Whereas it was really aggressive at one time, it has started to back off. And where it had really started to favor the Gulf of Mexico, it too has started to back off. Notice, this is going toward next Tuesday. What you see in red here is where the model is indicating maybe some kind of broad circulation trying to form. The GFS says something maybe closer into, say, Honduras, Guatemala, but not as farther out into the Gulf or the Caribbean. Whereas the Euro has been fairly consistent, maybe trying to develop something in the East Pacific. Neither of which are really as aggressive as, at least the GFS, as it had been, and starting to kind of focus on maybe more of a rainmaker over Central America. It is something that we're going to be watching. As a matter of fact, we're going to be looking down to the south for a surge of tropical moisture, not a tropical system, just a lot of moisture that'll be headed our way for the weekend. Couple that with a cold front moving into the area. Don't get too excited. All it's going to be is the triggering mechanism for more rainfall, and this feature is probably going to stall near the area even going into early next week. So with that surge of tropical moisture and the cold front moving into the area, we're looking at good ingredients to get our rain chances up. And again, we do need it. It's just unfortunate it'll be during the weekend. High temperatures over the next few days under mostly sunny skies, low 90s, but feeling more like the mid to upper 90s when you also factor in the humidity. Then our rain chances start to increase, and it looks like it'll be maybe a couple of wetter days for Saturday and Sunday. Doesn't appear to be an all-day rain, but certainly a much-needed rain, and might even have some of those lingering showers going into the start of next week. So we need the rain. Just
we do. I can't wait.
It'll just be the weekend.
That 84 looks good.
Yes.
See, okay, I don't think anybody's complaining. All right, good. No. We're all in agreement. Rain this weekend, fine.
Yes.
It's been ridiculous outside.
It has been.
Just the same air you can wear.
It is the air you can wear, and you can't cool off. When it's humid, you just can't cool off.
Yeah, you just, I don't know, walking the dogs has been miserable.
Yeah.
I usually enjoy that walk.
Well, this is kind of our transition period to get used to it. Now, you know, July, August, it's here to stay.
All right.
Well,
Sorry.
things are heating up in the NBA.